Hey guys, it's me, the Ecron Writer. Welcome you to another Final Fantasy project from OBS Studios. And this one happens to be something I came up with about 10 years ago, actually. Almost before I did the Dissidia Shadowgate crossover. And this one happens to be Cecil-centric, since it happens to revolve around my favorite character of the entire series, Cecil Harvey. This one highlights his introduction into the world of Dissidia. And even though there has been a quest with some of the heroes that seem official but not yet translated, which means they didn't make it outside of Japan, I just happened to make one up. And this one happens to take place in the events before Dissidia Duodecum. So, and once... Actually, I should apologize for my absence about 3 weeks ago because I wasn't getting a lot of sleep and I wasn't getting a lot of inspiration. I didn't have much of a drive to continue with another project. So, here I am now. So, let's get this thing going, shall we? Hold on, just, let me set this up. I wasn't really bailing on this right away. So, once again, I apologize for the long absence. So, yeah. Come on. I just apologize for the long absence. I haven't been getting a lot of sleep lately. So, I think that's it. Yep. Body of Dark, Heart of Light. Before I start, Dissidia belongs to Squeenix. Enjoy the Cecil-centric story. Alright, Chapter 1. It was very quiet in the world of darkness. There was hardly any light, and the numerous stone towers made it an ideal hiding place for enemy assault. For now the turf was empty, and only a sleeping paladin laid in the center of it. He slowly opened his eyes and looked at his surroundings. And pardon me if I don't do his voice right. I don't do Yuri Lowenthal very good. "Where am I?" he said, his voice still deep with drowsiness. As he sat, he felt his head. It wasn't aching, but it felt like it was just as empty as the place he was in now. He was suffering from total amnesia. He had no idea who he was, where he came from, or even why he was here. As his vision cleared, he started to stand up. He felt heavy as he noticed that he was wearing a protective suit of armor, plus a sword was sticking out from his back scabbard. He looked around curiously and started to wander. He tried to call out, but nobody was there to hear him, and all there was an echo amongst the barren place. While he was surveying between the towers, someone was watching him from above. He almost looked like the stranger, but he was flying and was wearing some robes. He went by the name of Kuja, and he was quite well known for his poetic speeches. "Ah, there is a new chip off the old block, wandering aimlessly like his own mind. He is as empty as a barren wasteland. Well, I guess it wouldn't hurt to give this newbie a little persuasion." He landed to the ground on his feet, and since the paladin was so far away, he only noticed the sound of Kuja's landing. He knew someone was here and immediately took out his sword. "Who's there?" No one heard him. The stranger was messing around, hovering from place to place, hiding amongst the towers. The warrior became anxious as he looked frantically for him. It almost sounded like there was a lot of enemies flying around, but thanks to his sixth sense, there was only one. He could hear Kujas laughing as he went. "Ha ha 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 ha! Who? Where are you? Show yourself!" he said firmly. Kuja appeared from hiding behind a tower and laughed in amusement. You got some talent for a mere human. Not too many people have that, you know. Be grateful that you do. Otherwise, you would never have found me. Who are you? What do you want? He asked, assuming he was an enemy. Kuja simply just smiled. Just testing you. A lot of people would be fooled by a person's looks, rather than what he can bring to the table. What? He used his hands like he was swatting a fly. Oh, never mind. I have a pretty good feeling that you are quite the warrior. Oh, where are my manners? We haven't even met, have we? No. The name is Kuja. I'm one of the minions who work for Chaos. Apparently the paladin had no idea who he was. He looked at Kuja blankly and said, I'm Cecil. I've never been here before, and you have no idea who you are, do you? And quite frankly, you don't know who Chaos and Cosmos are. Cosmos and Chaos? This is almost easier than I thought. I'm sure I can easily use him since he has nothing to fight for. However, he does have some potential. I guess he'll be a great recruit. He immediately snapped out of his reverie and insisted, Cecil, I've noticed that you have great power inside you. Would you mind showing me what you could do? It would just be a little spar. Nothing personal. Cecil just closed his eyes as he thought of fighting someone he never met. Oh, don't be shy. I want to see how strong you are. Now, are you going to fight me or not? Kuja asked impatiently. Cecil opened his eyes and declared, All right, I'll take you on. Then let us make beautiful music. The fight wasn't too intense, just to see who's got the best moves. It was like an exhibition match, and since Cecil just came to Dissidia, he didn't have much of an experience as Kuja. The paladin could only learn Saint's Fall as a critical move, the rest of them were just basic. During the fight, however, he had the ability to transform into a dark knight. He could only do it while he was on the ground, but he didn't know that he could become a different fighter during battle. He practically didn't remember himself as a Dark Knight, and he can only use Soul Eater. You know, that that ground sweeping move that he uses as an HP attack. He can only learn those. When he changed, something strange had happened. Whereas the Paladin was calm, the Dark Knight was fierce and also had some feelings of hatred. In addition, his powers seemed to have grown while in this form. Kuja realized the warrior had two personas, and he wanted to use that to his advantage. Intriguing. The genome's attacks were lethal, but at times he did hold back because of Cecil's inexperience. Kuja won, however, his opponent wasn't done yet. Cecil was in his paladin form, but dark energy was surrounding him. He was also trying to fight against something, an urge for chaos. Kuja sensed this and he just sat back as the warrior held his head and screamed in agony. Instantly, he turned himself into a dark knight, but this time there was no turning back. This was what exactly Kuja wanted to do. He wanted him to experience these negative feelings and gain more power as he did. Once he was in that dark state, his soul went corrupt, and Kuja wanted to use him to fight for chaos. He finally had his chance. When the transformation was complete, Kuja slowly walked to him. He lifted his head and Kuja spoke. You remember I worked for Chaos, right? The Dark Knight nodded slowly. Suddenly he felt numb. Why don't you serve him too? We'll be partners, and the war will turn in our favor. You know what? Why don't we simply forget about him, and then you won't have to worry about duty, obligation, or the mushy stuff. He turned agitated as he said it. We'll fight our own battles, and rule this world for ourselves. Shall we? He held out his hand for Cecil to grab. He did and stood up. Let's, he responded in a hypnotic tone. Finally, my plan is working! Let the curtains rise to this new performance. and he started to make evil laughs. "Come, my apprentice! I'll show you the true meaning of battle and conquest." As he led the way, Cecil followed. Although Cecil wasn't entirely evil as a Dark Knight, a lot of others were, like Leon in Final Fantasy II. So was he, since he'd forgotten how it felt to be in his previous form. It was like his own personal curse. However, Kuja was planning for this to happen so he could use him. Also, this story is based on a dream I had several years ago. It was vague, but I'm making it up as I go, which is inside the world of darkness, with Cecil and Kuja fighting in that stage. It's not over yet. Next part will be up shortly. Isn't it weird that I had this dream take place in the world of darkness? This could be a perfect setting after Kuja's failed attempt to slaughter the Cosmos Warriors in the first report. Very weird. And I suppose that's it for now. Yeah, I should end this here for now. Alright, so, next time, stay tuned for Chapter 2. Until then, this is the Ecron Writer signing out. And I hope you like the intro to this fic.